Have you ever been around someone who leaves you feeling exhausted after every conversation? It's like they suck the life right out of you. Wise people recognize this pattern early and silently distance themselves from energy drainers. These individuals are constantly negative, always complaining, and never bring anything positive to the table. They thrive on drama, feed off chaos, and love playing the victim. No matter how much advice or encouragement you give them, they refuse to change. Instead, they make every conversation about their problems, their struggles, their disappointments, without ever taking action to improve their lives. Wise people understand that their energy is precious. They know that constantly engaging with energy vampires will leave them drained, distracted, and depleted. Instead of arguing or trying to fix these people, they choose the silent exit. They set boundaries without making a scene, prioritize their own well-being, and gradually step away. And the best part, the moment they stop engaging with these toxic forces, they realize just how much lighter, clearer, and more focused they feel. Energy is everything, and wise people protect theirs like gold. Manipulators are masters of deception. They twist words, distort reality, and play mind games to control the people around them. Wise individuals spot these behaviors early and cut these people off silently, without confrontation. Why? Because manipulators thrive on drama, and any attempt to call them out only fuels their tactics. They use guilt, emotional blackmail, and subtle mind games to get what they want. They pretend to be victims, make you feel responsible for their problems, and subtly push you into doing things for them, often at the expense of your own well-being. The wise don't waste energy arguing or trying to change them. Instead, they recognize the manipulation for what it is, quietly remove themselves from the situation, and reinforce their boundaries. They refuse to engage in the guilt trips, the mind games, or the never-ending cycles of emotional manipulation. Instead of fighting back, they disappear from the manipulator's web, leaving them with no power over their emotions or decisions. And just like that, they reclaim their peace, their clarity, and their ability to make decisions without someone else pulling the strings. Jealousy is a silent poison, and wise people know that it's dangerous to keep jealous individuals close. These are the ones who smile to your face but secretly resent your success. They never celebrate your wins. Instead, they downplay your achievements, subtly criticize your progress, or make snide remarks disguised as jokes. At first, their negativity might seem harmless, but over time, their energy becomes toxic. They plant seeds of doubt in your mind, making you question your abilities, your choices, and even your worth. Wise individuals don't engage in this toxic dance. They don't waste time trying to prove their worth to people who refuse to be happy for them. Instead, they cut off jealous underminers silently. No drama, no confrontation, just a quiet retreat. They stop sharing their goals, stop seeking validation, and simply remove these people from their inner circle. And once they do, they notice something powerful. Their confidence grows, their motivation skyrockets, and they feel an immense sense of freedom. They realize that not everyone deserves a front row seat to their success, and the fewer jealous eyes on their journey, the more unstoppable they become. Wise people understand a fundamental truth. If someone gossips to you, they will gossip about you. Gossipers thrive on secrets, scandals, and negativity. They collect personal information like currency and use it to gain social leverage. At first, it may seem harmless, just casual conversations about mutual acquaintances. But soon you realize that they are not just talking about others, they are talking about you too, A wise person sees this pattern early. They notice how these individuals exaggerate stories, twist details, and spread misinformation just to keep conversations interesting. They understand that trust and loyalty mean nothing to a gossip monger, so what do? They go silent. They stop sharing personal details, avoid engaging in negative conversations, and gradually distance themselves. There's no need for confrontation because gossipers thrive on drama, and giving them attention only feeds their toxic habit. Instead, wise individuals surround themselves with people who value privacy, integrity, and genuine connections. They protect their reputation by refusing to associate with those who make a habit of tearing others down. And the best part? The moment they walk away from gossipers, they feel an overwhelming sense of peace. No more paranoia, no more wondering who is saying what behind their back, just clarity, security, and an environment of trust. Life throws challenges at everyone, but some people choose to stay stuck in a victim mentality. These individuals see every setback as a personal attack, every difficulty as proof that the world is against them. Instead of taking responsibility for their lives, they blame others, complain endlessly, and expect constant sympathy. Wise people quickly recognize this pattern and silently cut these individuals off. Why? Because being around a habitual victim is emotionally draining. Their negativity seeps into conversations, and no matter how much advice, encouragement, or solutions you offer, they never take action. They don't want help, they want attention. They thrive on pity and will latch on to anyone willing to listen to their endless cycle of complaints. And the worst part, their mindset is contagious. Spend enough time around a habitual victim, and you'll start questioning your own ability to take control of your life. That's why wise people remove themselves quietly. They don't argue. They don't try to change the victim's perspective. They simply withdraw. They invest their energy in people who uplift, inspire, and take ownership of their lives. And once they cut off habitual victims, they feel a sense of relief. No more exhausting conversations, no more negativity dragging them down, just a renewed sense of empowerment, knowing they are surrounded by people who believe in solutions, not excuses. A wise person knows the difference between a true supporter and a secret competitor. These are the people who pretend to be on your team, but are constantly measuring themselves against you. They don't just want to see you do well, they want to make sure they're doing better. Every achievement you share is met with one-upping, subtle dismissal, or forced enthusiasm. Instead of celebrating your wins, they feel threatened by them. At first, it might seem harmless, just friendly competition, but over time, you notice how they downplay your success, always steering conversations back to themselves. They never offer genuine support. Instead, they silently hope you fail so they can feel superior. A wise person does not waste energy competing with someone who should be in their corner. They don't try to prove their worth or engage in unspoken battles of comparison. Instead, they cut these people off silently. No explanations, no confrontations, just a gradual retreat. They stop sharing their goals, stop seeking approval, and focus on their own journey. And once they do, they realize something powerful. Success feels lighter when you're surrounded by people who truly want to see you win. There's no tension, no hidden resentment, just pure mutual encouragement. And in that space, growth happens effortlessly. A wise person understands that some people will go to great lengths to control, deceive, or exploit others for their own gain. Master manipulators operate subtly. They use guilt, flattery, or even silence as tools to make you question yourself. They make you feel responsible for their happiness, obligated to meet their demands, and guilty for setting boundaries. It's a slow, calculated game where they twist reality to keep you under their influence. At first, you may not even notice the manipulation. They seem charming, supportive, even caring. But over time, patterns emerge. They guilt-trip you into doing things that serve their interests. They gaslight you, making you doubt your own judgment. They never take responsibility for their actions. Instead, they shift blame onto you. And when you finally recognize the toxicity, they play the victim, making you feel like the bad guy for wanting to walk away. A wise person refuses to play this game. They don't waste time explaining themselves to manipulators, because manipulators thrive on justifications. They use them to twist the narrative. Instead, they withdraw silently. No warnings, no drawn-out arguments, just a quiet exit. They reclaim their mental space, regain their self-trust, and surround themselves with people who respect their boundaries instead of testing them. And when they finally cut manipulators off, they feel an incredible sense of freedom. No more walking on eggshells, no more second-guessing, just clarity, control, and the ability to move forward without invisible strings pulling them back. A wise person knows that trust is the foundation of every strong relationship. Without it, nothing else matters. That's why they have zero tolerance for habitual liars. These individuals lie effortlessly, whether to cover up their mistakes, manipulate situations, or simply for the thrill of deception. And the worst part, the more they get away with it, the bolder they become. At first, their lies might seem small, harmless exaggerations, missing details, or slight distortions of the truth. But over time, patterns emerge. They lie about where they've been, what they've done, or what their intentions are. They fabricate stories, twist facts, and shift blame onto others. And when caught, they either deny everything or flip the script, making you feel like the crazy one for questioning them. A wise person doesn't waste energy arguing with a liar, but they don't seek explanations, apologies, or closure because they know they'll never get the full truth. Instead, they cut them off, silently and completely. No warnings, no second chances, just a quiet but firm exit. And when they do, they feel lighter, clearer, and more at peace. They no longer have to question what's real, second-guess every word, or keep up with someone else's web of deception. Instead, they surround themselves with people whose words match their actions, people who value truth, integrity, and authenticity. And that shift makes all the difference. Wise people understand the importance of give and take in relationships. That's why they silently cut off those who only take but never give. Perpetual takers exist in every area of life. Friends who only reach out when they need something, co-workers who dump responsibilities on you, or even family members who expect constant favors but never offer support in return. These people drain your time, energy, and resources while giving nothing in return. At first, their requests seem reasonable. Can you help me with this? Can I borrow that? I really need a favor. But over time, you realize it's a one-way street. They never reciprocate. They never check in unless they need something. And worst of all, they expect you to always say yes. If you ever refuse, they guilt-trip you, act offended, or suddenly disappear until they need something again. A wise person doesn't waste time trying to make takers see their selfishness. They don't plead for appreciation or beg for fairness. Instead, they set silent boundaries. They stop saying yes to every request, they limit their availability, and eventually they remove these people from their lives altogether. And when they do, they experience something powerful, peace. They reclaim their time, their energy, and their self-respect. They invest in relationships that feel balanced, where generosity flows both ways. And most importantly, they learn that saying no to a taker is actually saying yes to themselves. A wise person guards their dreams like treasure because they know that not everyone deserves access to them. That's why they silently cut off the dream killers, those who mock their ambitions, belittle their goals, and try to keep them stuck in mediocrity. These people don't always attack outright. Sometimes their negativity comes in the form of subtle doubts, discouraging remarks, or passive-aggressive advice like, "Are you sure that's a good idea?" Or maybe you should be more realistic. At first, their words might seem like concern. They claim they're just looking out for you. But in reality, they're projecting their own fears onto you. They're the ones who never chased their own dreams, so they can't stand to see you chasing yours. They see your ambition as a threat because it reminds them of what they never had the courage to do. And if you let them, they will plant seeds of doubt that make you question your own potential. A wise person doesn't argue with dream killers. They don't try to convince them to believe in their vision. Instead, they silently distance themselves. They protect their goals by keeping them away from those who won't support them. They surround themselves with believers, doers, and those who inspire them to aim higher. And once they cut off the dream killers, something magical happens. Momentum builds. Without negativity weighing them down, they move faster, think bigger, and achieve more than they ever thought possible. Because at the end of the day, wise people know one thing for certain. The only way to succeed is to believe in yourself more than anyone else ever will.